My name is Omar Harami, and I will be your MC for today. Thank you for joining us for the latest Kumi Now online gathering, as we dig into the truth of Israel's nuclear weapons program and the threat of nuclear weapons for the world. Before we start, I'd like to remind you that this session is being broadcasted live on Facebook. If you do not wish to appear, please turn off your video feed. We would also love it if you could quickly share one of the links that are being shared in the chat so that others may join. We will skip the polls for today. And before we start, we have wonderful guests with us today. I would like to ask our guests to introduce themselves. Mr. Ryoki.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. And
may you please introduce yourself, Mr. Ryoki?
Oh, me?
Yes.
My name is Ryoki Wenbel. I'm the one of the Ask Caravan. And Ask Caravan started since 2015 to pilgrimage from Hiroshima and Europe, and then go to Palestine. With bringing the Hiroshima chambers of the atomic bomb flame that been burning since 1945, August 6th. And it was the first time in history, I guess, that this fire was brought to Jerusalem, Palestine. And today I was requested by Omar, my nice friend, and to talk about our activities with Hiroshima fire, atomic bomb, nuclear, and in Palestine, etc. Is that okay?
Thank you very much. And I think we have also another guest, Alice. Alice will introduce herself.
Alice is, I don't see Alice. Where is Alice? Do you see Alice? Oh yeah, good.
Yes, can you please introduce yourself, Alice?
Thank you for making me here. Thanks a lot, Umar. I'm also so pleased to see you, and thank you for inviting Earth Caravan and Ryoki Wenbel for speaking today. I will support him with any questions, and for my introduction, I'm from Austria, and in 2015, when Ryoki Sensei had the idea of Earth Caravan, it was a very fascinating idea to spread the message of peace, and I joined in 2015 in Europe, and from then on I have been also several times to Palestine, and we participated with you, with Sabil, and we participated also with the Bethlehem Festival, and one really very impressive experience is that the hospitality and the kindness of Palestine people. So it's completely different than we are used to the picture, which is transported by media in Europe. And I appreciate that we can see the reality, what is really happening. Thank you for doing this meeting.
And thank you for joining and partnering with us. Just to make the best of the time, I will start by giving you an update on the news on the ground, since everything is working from my side. A lot of things, unfortunately, have been happening in Palestine and Israel this week. A human rights activist and a known critique of the Palestinian Authority, Nizar Banat, was killed on Thursday morning. Although he lives in Area C of the West Bank, over 20 Palestinian security officers went into his house, arrested him, and beat him up very hard, and later he was announced to be dead. This has raised lots of anger within the Palestinian community. Many Palestinians from different cities started to protest the human rights violations and the death of the activist Nizar Banat. The PA did not behave well. Instead of respecting the right of Palestinians to demonstrate and to express their concerns and the level of mistrust within the government, the PA sent out bullies, and the security officials beat up people, press, and civilians who were taking part into the demonstration. Yesterday and today, there weren't many demonstrations, but still the people are very angry, and most of the people are taking to the social media, creating and raising many campaigns against the PA and asking for high official members to be to resign and to have a proper and transparent investigation take place. This young man, his name is Ghadanfar. He is protesting administrative detention. He has been arrested by Israel for 56 days without proper on the basis of administrative detention. He has not been charged nor brought in front of a court. So as a way of protest, he has been taking part of a 56 long day hunger strike. His health is deteriorating, and we are expecting sad news and terrible news to receive. He is not doing very well. Sheikh Khadr Adnan, he was released the past 2 days after spending 25 days with hunger strike. This is in the last 12 years, this is the 7th time that he has been arrested, and each time without being accused. Each time he goes through a hunger strike that lasts for 20, 30, or 40 days. He was released, and Israel continues to re-arrest him every now and then without accusing him. In Silwan, there are 21 families that are expecting home demolitions. This morning, a group of Israeli bulldozers went into the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood and area of Silwan, and went out to the streets and protested. Only one store was demolished. People don't know why only one home, although there are 21 homes that have demolition orders. People expect they were trying to see how the community would react, trying to show that the municipality is not afraid from the community organizations that are being taken, that are taking place. The worst is expected. 21 families thought that their homes were going to be demolished, and everybody rushed into Silwan area. The Israeli bulldozers were only able to demolish one place. In Sheikh Jarrah, there are 28 families that are under the threat of being evicted. Since May, many demonstrations took place in the neighborhood, and suddenly today, Israel removed all of the checkpoints in that street. So people are really, they were not notified why did they remove the checkpoints without notice or without giving an explanation. Some people believe that it is due to international pressure. Others believe it is it's from internal discussions within the Israeli government, because by Israeli law, even these demonstrations, these checkpoints and barriers are not legal. So people are jumping into conclusions, but people expect maybe Israel will go into the neighborhood and evictions will start. So there is great uncertainty and fear in the area. We have been mentioning that to the south of Nablus, in the village of Beta, a mountain called the Mountain of Sbeih, which is mainly agricultural land, has been Israeli settlers, even within the Israeli law, they are illegal. They started to establish illegal settlements and housing on that mountain. Beta is a known village to be strong in community resistance. So the demonstrations are taking course 24/7. Even at night, young people, the village is over 7,000 inhabitants. Everybody is taking part in defending the mountain. 7 people died last month with clashes with the Israeli army. The young people at night light their torches and go and defend every meter in the village. Israel has made a settlement. The Israeli army has made a settlement with the settlers. They said, okay, let's dismantle this illegal settlement, and we promised to give it legal paper so that we re-establish it. The Israeli army is very much worried. They do not want Beta to inspire others to resist in a very well-organized way as Beta. So everybody is looking at Beta with as a candle of hope, that when the people unite, engage in nonviolent resistance, they're able to force Israel to back off on many of its decisions with us. Let us now turn to the main issue of the week and our special guests. As they speak, if you think of a question, please type it in the chat and we will try our best to cover most of them in that question and answer time. So, Mr. Ryoki.
Yes, what should I start from? What should I start with? Okay, maybe I think people usually think that when we bring the Hiroshima fire, maybe to appeal the peace from the past, you know, what happened in Hiroshima, and then to share to the world. But actually, my mission is a little bit different. Mostly in my heart, what I feel as a mission is to announce, to let people know the situation in Palestine through the Hiroshima fire. So it seems like it's a kind of upside down. Isn't it, Alice? And one of the reasons is that as Japanese mentality, for us, like what happened in the World War II, as a victim of the bombs and including nuclear, for us it's not like human being did to some other human being. We feel something like, as our mentality, we feel like it's a natural disaster. So people don't, you know, people blame to the war, people blame to what happened, but not to the people. That's kind of our mentality. And when I talk about this, what my mother experienced, that every night, you know, she had to escape and had to go to shelter, because every night there was alarm of the bombing. And she was 16 years old. And she said she hated every night. And she never could sleep. And one time she could not escape to the shelter that way she usually go to hide herself. And she went to another shelter. And fortunately, or unfortunately, fortunately, that shelter was bombed. And that's how she survived. And that's why I'm here. Without this happening, I'm not in this world. But anyway, so this is one mentality. One time, North American our member, when I talked about this experience, my mother's experience, he told me, he asked me, so your mother must not like Americans. I said, why? No? And he was surprised. But you know, And then I realized, usually Japanese with blame to the war, but not to the Americans. That's the mentality. And also this word, every year, end of the year, we do a ceremony, party, which is, we call it the forget about the past, forget about year. Like, what happened in the past, we forget it. But actually, I cannot forget the past, what Japanese army has done to the Chinese people and Koreans. It's not in my generation, but I still feel as a Japanese the shame and the guilt. And I think I should not forget about this. But in the other hand, so, we shouldn't stick to the past. But there's also the word gifun in Japanese, which means anger to the injustice. And that's why I have anger to what's happening, injustice, what's happening now in the Middle East. So I feel that as a mission to let people know what's happening for the people who suffers in Palestine, anywhere. And then, and that's why every year since 2015, we brought this fire and to Europe and also to Palestine. And in 2017, I was thinking when I was in Bethlehem, I was thinking how we can more let people know about the situation here, what's happening in Palestine. Then one idea came up. It was to let Palestinian girl, young girl, 13 years old, something like, to let this girl to meet Pope in Vatican. And we bring the fire from Hiroshima and let Pope blow out the fire through the Palestinian girl. And then we brought a Jana Jihad from Navisare. And it took, of course, a lot of Arab effort. And it took about nearly 1 year to make this event happen. And of course, we couldn't announce on the surface level that this is a real purpose. So I'm happy to talk about this. What was the real purpose? I usually never talk. We brought to camouflage the real purpose. And to camouflage this, we brought 3 other girls. One is from Nagasaki, who is a 3rd generation and same age of Jana, with Jana. And the other girl was Jewish girl from United States, and the Austrian girl, which is actually daughter of Alice. And then we even brought Nobel Peace Prize receiver, Setsuko Saro, who was a victim from Hiroshima. And everything was to bring Palestinian girl to Vatican. And it happened finally after 1 year effort. And we'd like to show the news as in video for maybe two minutes video. So is Ryan able to show this video or not? Hello? Uh-oh. What happened? Where's Omar?
I think Ryan is having problems with the video for some reason. We will let you know when it gets fixed. So,
Okay.
Mark has the videos to share. He's doing
Mark?
it. Yeah.
Okay, so I think Mark is doing it now.
This delegation is from Earth Caravan. It's a global interfaith organization wanting to bring peace, happiness, and healing to the world. They came to Rome to present a Hiroshima Flame of Peace candle to Pope Francis, along with this request.
So, Holy Father, please, will you blow out this flame so there will never again be another Nagasaki, so there will never again be another Hiroshima.
This candle was taken from the embers of the atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima in 1945. There's another one in Hiroshima that will burn until the end of all global nuclear weapons. Earth Caravan was accompanied by Hiroshima survivor Tetsuko Turlo. She was 13 years old when the bomb fell. For her, it's important that the future generations prevent such a tragic event from ever happening again.
It's abhorrent morally to commit indiscriminate mass killing of innocent non-combatant. International law does not permit that. The fighters, soldiers fight against soldiers, but fighters don't kill women and children and babies and elderly.
The organization wanted to show their support for Setsuko Thurlo by bringing along these young girls carrying the candle.
So as a symbol, we've brought 4 12 and 13-year-old girls with us who share her wish for the end of nuclear weapons in the world.
My daughter and I came to show support as part of the Jewish community. So the 4 girls that are here are from 4 different religions and 4 different countries.
Earth Caravan was originally started by a Tao Sangha Buddhist community. It uses what tragically happened 74 years ago in Japan to prevent all forms of violence and injustices globally.
So as a Palestinian, you might say, well, what do I have to do with Japan and the nuclear weapons there? But it has been wonderful because the Earth Caravan has also been able to give me a voice as a Palestinian in my struggle to end occupation and to bring peace to the Middle East.
While in Rome, they'll also be meeting with the mayor of Rome, Virginia Raggi, and speaking to school children in Supino as a way of promoting their call for peace across the world.
Okay, thank you. So can I continue a little bit? Hello?
Yes, you may continue.
Yes. So after Pope blew out the fire, and we thought about what to do next. And actually, to blow out fire is meaning in Buddhism is clean up the karma. So after the clean up the karma of the past, we have to build up the future. Then the new idea came up to gather all the fire from the historical fires, including Hiroshima fire, into one fire and put prayers for the peace and justice by all human beings, and to make one flame as a symbol of the future. And this we call Flame of Hope. And we started the new this new project after the Vatican. And then this fire included Hiroshima fire, Nagasaki fire, and also the holy fire from the peace fire flame from the Bethlehem, the birth church, and also fire of the 1,200 years burning of one of the Buddhist temple in Japan, another temple from 400 years. All those fires are in. And then we started adding the prayers of the people in many different religious places, schools, and this and that. And in 2019, when Pope came to Japan, and he put this fire into the candle for the mass in Nagasaki and Tokyo. So can you show the one video of how the Flame of Hope started? The next video, please, Mark.
So, Holy Father, please, will you blow out this flame so there will never again be another Nagasaki, so there will never again be another Hiroshima.
Guardando il mondo dall'alto dei cieli, nessun confine vedrai, puoi sentire il suo dolore nel profondo del cuore, senti il pianto dei bambini ovunque tu andrai, dagli gioia, un sorriso e tutto migliorerai. Happiness and freedom is what we deserve to share. What we need to share. Should rise with infinite non si nasce razzista, non si nasce odiando. Apri il cuore e lo spirito, il seme di Buddha ce l'ha.
سلام جديد في كل مكان للجميع، يلا نعمل فن جديد نحافظ فيه على العالم.
Yes, we're supposed to bring the UAE and the Expo and put the Flame of Hope over there. But because of this Corona thing started, so now it's freezed since then. But now Alice has the Flame of Hope in her now. So can you, I pass to the Alice next. Alice, please. Hello, Alice.
Thank you. Now, thank you for giving me, thank you for sharing, Endo Sensei. So, yeah, with the Flame of Hope, it's something really special because as you could see in the videos, there is a special meaning of becoming an ambassador of being your own flame, of being your own spirit. And I saw that one of the questions which has been put into the talk here is what is the recommendation of Ryoki Wenbel or of the talk for Palestine. So my idea about this is, I think Palestinian people are the most experts about occupation, the most experts about peace, of peace bringers. So I think it would be really, really wonderful that that Palestinian people could really go out into the world and show their expertise of what is happening and how it is possible to live together, and how it's possible to overcome a situation of occupation. And I think people would really like to listen all over the world to hear and to see this. And this was also one of the reasons why it was so interesting to cooperate with many people all over the world to realize this project. We cooperated together with Canada, and we cooperated together with France, of course, also with Austria. For the Austrian government, it was some kind easy because they accepted already the treaty of abolition of the nuclear weapons. It's because the meeting is now, because in these days the treaty was signed some years ago. But for other countries who are traveling with Earth Caravan, it's still a real problem to see that the nuclear weapons, that they have nuclear weapons, and to overcome this past. So the more ambassadors are walking and talking and sharing the vision and the idea of a bright and of a peaceful future, and that it can really be working, this will show the example that other groups can overcome really these difficulties of the past. So being an ambassador for peace is something exciting, and it's something which is giving a lot of joy into our lives. And you could see it also with these young children and with these young girls. They completely understood, when we were working together with them, they completely understood the importance of sharing this message, that a bright future, that a peaceful future is possible. And they are still connected to each other, and they are still friends. And it was amazing to see how quickly they were unified, and how quickly they shared their interests, although they come from really different backgrounds, completely different backgrounds, from completely different cultures: East, West, America, Jewish, Buddhist, Catholic, or Christian, and of course Muslim. So, but it didn't matter at all. So, so the message which was given through the atomic bomb flame, through also the suffering of Setsuko Thurlow, who survived the bomb, it's go to the light. She was always, when Setsuko was talking in front of children, she always said, don't be afraid of obstacles. She was buried completely from the bomb inside of her school, and she had to wait for many, many hours until they could find her. And one man who could see her lying in this house, in this broken schoolhouse, he told her, "Don't give up, don't give up. Can you see the light? Here's the light, and just crawl to the light." So it seems that again and again we find ourselves in this situation. It seems like the world, like the situation in Palestine and in so many other countries, are the same. Like when I see now the pictures of the demolished houses, I mean, how stupid can humanity be that these things are still happening under the eye of the international community, United Nations? Nobody is doing anything. It seems that nobody is doing anything, but on the other side, there are so many people who see the light and who crawl for the light, who fight that the light is being given also to other people. So this year we couldn't come to Palestine, but because it was too difficult to travel and we were not allowed to enter, even if we tried hard. But now we are going to another pilgrimage and make people interested about sharing this positive future, about sharing the flame of hope. We really wish to transport the message of the flame of hope, which is you yourself, you have this spirit, you have the flame of the spirit inside, and please find your mission in life to share this flame, to share the brightness of a real future. So this time we are going from Lourdes and we are receiving the blessings from the Saint Bernadette, and we are continuing to the pilgrimage path of Saint Jacob to Santiago de Compostela. And we also have connected to the Martin Luther King Center, which hopefully, which has also the same topic like in America, the suppression of the spirit of Black people, of natives, of the Afro-American natives. So it could be endless. I could talk endless. I'm sorry for talking so long. But wherever we are, wherever you are, it's also, it's so meaningful that so many people join and share this meeting, so we can find each other and enlighten each other. And I think this is so much more clever than many people who are maybe in more powerful positions. But what counts is all the activities and in the basement, which are as powerful and as forceful as global politics. So may I give back the word to Ryoki Sensei, please? Or
no, we just ask people to put prayers to the frame, and then the last video, the song of the Free Palestine, the one. Mark, did you able to download another video from Dailymotion? Okay, great.
Yes, I'll play it now.
Okay, then please show this video.
Pretty blonde girl of 16 did the right thing as a human being when a soldier invaded her house to shoot another child. She slapped and was later sent to jail. There's no justice in occupation, only humiliation. This is the story of the moral struggle for humanity. Ahead, Tamimi, icon of resistance against the occupiers, will be counted alongside. Join of arc, Kasturba, Gandhi, and Gwanson. Palestine, Palestine, we'll be free.
Okay, can I say just last sentence at the end? Hello,
Yes,
Omar?
yes, we hear you. Yes.
This is a song that I composed and wrote lyrics, and I really wish that Palestine be free. Next day, tomorrow, or even today. I also wish that I don't want the Israeli next generation people feel the shame and guilt like I feel the shame and guilt. What happened in the past, that what Japan did in the past. And that it's really heavy to feel shame and guilt. So this is not good for them as well, Israel as well, as not good for Japanese. It was not good for Japanese. So I really wish for both Palestinians and Israelis for the good future. Okay, thank you very much I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. We have some questions. We will try to answer them. The first question is, what is your message and recommendation to the Palestinian people?
Recommendation. A message. I have no message, no recommendation. I appreciate Palestinians' hospitality and caring each other. And I cannot say anything. I just feel empathy. And I don't think I can say anything to suggest them. And as long as I feel empathy, I'm sure that Palestinian people will find the right way.
Thank you. There's another question in the chat. Do you challenge Israel as a nuclear power?
What do you mean by challenge?
This is how the question was phrased. Do you challenge Israel as a nuclear weapon, power? So I think, do you...
Alice, do you want to answer?
Yes, I might. What we did was in Vatican was a huge challenge. We challenged Israel on a personal level. We were searched, of course, also at the airport when we were leaving Israel. And it was such a delicate mission that this could happen. So in realizing the project that the Palestinian Girl is asking the Pope to blow out the flame of the atomic bomb, I think it was maybe subtle, but I think this can be a bomb anytime. So if somebody wishes to make a bomb out of this, they could do it.
There is another question, thank you. Usually in interfaith meetings, people look for things that bring people together. When people talk about Palestine and Israel, it's a very divisive. People have strong feelings. Why are you engaged with interfaith and also support the struggle of Palestinians against the occupation?
You know, as a human being, we all same, of course. And it's a fault of not human beings, it's a fault of the system. And there are also bad people who making the bad system, who make people stupid. And only the stupid people follows. As long as we raise our wisdom, we're not going to get into that, the division. Not being victimized and not being blamed to the people but get anger to the injustice and system, not to the people. Is my answer enough? Or if anything, please add, Alice.
I don't know if Alice would like to add something or.
It's fine, fine. No, it's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Sensei.
Here is another question. During your visits to Palestine and Israel, what was the most thing that you witnessed that touched you as a person, Mr. Ryoko?
The friendship from the people, and you know, when I see when I see Israeli activists who don't mind even get arrested for the justice and for the people as a human being, this is also touching. And yes, I wish that I would be for anybody to be like that. And also people who is not losing hope in any situation and who keep fighting for freedom, the braveness. And it's a lot of patience they need. I admire the patience, the braveness, and the warmth of the heart. It's a really challenging situation for anybody, but this is really shows the humanity. So humanity is mostly the touching.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time. We're not able to answer all questions. But thank you for the great questions, and thank you for the great responses.
Thank you.
So we will now move to the time of action and activism. Ryan, could you please put the Kumi action on the screen? These options will also be shared in the chat, and all of the text is available on the web page of the gathering, also shared in the chat or accessible from our kuminow.com website under the Kumi Online Gatherings button near the bottom of the page. So today's Kumi action, which you can see on the left, is to encourage Israel to come clean about its nuclear program. All of the links you will need to find a nuclear warning sign and the address of Israel's embassy in your country will be shared in the chat. So the point of it is to help, although it has been exposed that Israel has nuclear weapons, they still do not recognize their existence or admit their existence, nor are willing to sign the international agreements. So the idea is helping Israel. Maybe they don't have signs, so please send signs by email or by the post office to the Israeli embassy. We hope that nuclear weapons will disappear from all around the world. Hiroshima and Nagasaki are a reminder of how evil this weapon is, that does not differentiate between civilians, creation in general, or military targets. So please take your time now in preparing the Kumi action, and we will also move to Alice. Alice, you also have a proposal for an action.
We would invite everybody who is joining to the meeting to add a personal wish, to add a prayer to the flame of hope, because this flame will travel in the next years all over the world, and we wish to let everybody see that it's possible to realize their own future, that we are responsible for our own future. And we should not be dependent on systems. We should not be dependent on teachings. And we should not be dependent on the past. But we should see that the fire of the Spirit, and it doesn't matter which name this Spirit receives, if it's God or Allah, if it's Buddha, Yahweh, this Spirit can really lighten up the world. And this is what the next generations will need to spread. So we would invite you, not ask you, but we invite you to share your personal wish to the flame of hope, with the flame of hope to the world.
Where do you find borders on earth if you look down from the sky? Can you feel the pain of earth echoing in your heart? Can you hear the kids are crying all throughout the land? Give them joy, make them smile. What else do we need to do? Happiness and freedom are what we deserve to share. Let one earth shine brightly with infinite uniqueness. No one is born a racist. No one is born to hate. Open your heart, awaken your spirit. We all have Buddha seed. Let's create together a cool and beautiful world. Be responsible to the earth. Create your life as art. Happiness and freedom are what we deserve to share. Let one earth shine brightly with infinite uniqueness. Let us heal the wounds of earth with prayers and hearts of giving. Come sing with us, come dance with us, and join the caravan.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. A link to the video of this gathering, along with the links will be shared today, will be available on the Kumi Now website and on YouTube in a day or so. And it will be shared in the next newsletter. You can subscribe to Kumi Now on YouTube and subscribe to our newsletter to make sure you receive them. We would appreciate if you share this amazing session with your friends and colleagues, as well as information on the future sessions. Next week will be a Kumi relaunch week. It is a time to pause in the middle of the year and both catch our breath and to focus on reaching out to let new people know about Kumi Now. Details are on the page being shared in chat and will also be in the next newsletter. We will return with our next online gathering in 2 weeks' time on July 13th. Charlotte Marshall of Sabil, Kairos, UK will join us to discuss the impact of morally responsible investing and action that all of us around the world can take to support justice in Palestine. If you'd like to be reminded for the online gathering an hour before they begin, you can register for email reminders at kuminow.com/online using the form at the bottom of the page. We hope to see you back here in 2 weeks, and thank you again, and good morning, good night, or good afternoon to all of you friends. Thank you, and in solidarity, we leave you. Take care.